Welcome in, everyone. My name is Luna, aka Krista, aka the owner and designer of Krista Marie Designs, and I'm going to be going in with Canva and showing you how I custom design and create my own notepads that you can also get on Shopify and Etsy. Krista Marie Designs is my heart and soul. I created the shop back in 2010 as a single mother going through college, and graduating myself is my highest priority. But when I created Krista Marie Designs, I wanted to showcase my art, the things that I love to create and make smile. Since 2010, I have evolved. I started out making jewelry, and now we have a Shopify shop and an Etsy shop. My Shopify is mainly based on stationaries where you can find die cut stickers and new notepads along with more stationery products coming. My Etsy shop has a little bit of both of how I started with jewelry, other fashion accessories, and my stationaries along with stickers that you can get. I offer a wide variety, great deals, and everything is handmade and designed by myself in my home. Sometimes I get a little bit of help from my little helpers. So if you would like to shop my Krista Marie Designs, it will always be linked down below in my profile. And you can contact me if you have any questions or concerns. But so far, we are still running strong, homegrown, and proud. If you're wanting to order, I will link everything down below. And also, if you're looking to start your own stationery business and have a little means of money, I will also link down my Amazon of how and where I got all the products that I am using. But it is an easy, quick start with Canva. Canva is a website that you can use for free, or you can get the paid version that opens up a lot more windows and designs that you can use. And you can use this for business, you can use this for personal, you can use this for fun. I am an educator, and I even show my kids, my students, how to use Canva in a creative way. Some of them have made their own shirts. Some of them have made their own coloring books, and it's a lot of fun, and I am a true advocate of Canva. So we're going in, and I have created a ton of notepads that I currently create and sell, again, on my Shopify and my Etsy shops. I want to go in and show you how easy it is and how I use one template and keep using it to create the next one, so on and so forth. Right now, you can get my notepads as a single items, or you can order 4 and as a group item. I was debating on making them already set to be certain groups, but I want to be able to where you can build your own sets of 4 and go on from there. So what you're going to do when you're on Canva, when you're first starting out with Canva, you're probably confused on what you need to do. When I'm making anything that I need to print out, if it's a specific, I will do a book cover, or if anything of that matter, I will just type in what I'm wanting to use. For this one, I'm going to do created a design. Usually I would go for an A3 document. In this situation, I am going to go for an A4 document simply because I can do landscape. That is what I want for my notepads, and you can get a A4 or you can do an A5. The only difference is in size, but I stick with the A4. I already have mine, of course, created, like I said. So this is my A4 document, and I have it landscape because, of course, I want to print more than one on a paper because we're utilizing our space and not wasting product. So then, therefore, I can get 2 on a sheet. As I said, I have created a ton of them, but when starting out, it's really simple. You want to find the size that you want to create, and then honestly, I just copy everything down, so then that way it's easy to come in and create my next best item that I'm looking for. So say we are coming in and you don't have any of these created, you're going to start out with a blank page. So what I normally do is I go over to my Elements tab and I you can type in square or rectangle, and you want to get one where you can adjust all of your size. So we have our top and bottom, we have our left and right, as well as our corner sides. Now, depending on the size that you want is going to determine how big this rectangle is going to be. So for me, I kind of stay in line with the center here, and I know that I probably want it to be a little bit longer and maybe a little bit wider. So I get the size that I want, and I just kind of put it somewhere here. You're going to hit this plus sign to duplicate, and then you can always make a duplicate. But of course, we're not done. We don't want to make a second one yet, but I do want to make, as you can see, the inside as well as the borderline. Now, there's multiple ways that you can do this. You can do a plain color border, so then you can change your different colors, or you can get a little tricky with it, as I've done before. I've done a food border, which we can type in food collage over in Elements, see if we can get any photos. So then that way, say I wanted food to be the border, this is another little trick that you can do, and say that I wanted this to be the size of that. And then I would click on it, go to position, bring this forward, and then what we're going to do is we're going to resize this. So now this is going to sit in the center of our print here. So as you can see now, we have like a food border. So that is something that you can play around with. Of course, you're going to decide what the workspace is that you want to do with that. So this is how I get my borders, whether it's a color or if it's a picture. I pretty much use the same rectangle, copy it, resize it, push it forward and back, and then if I wanted to, I can make this any color that I wanted by clicking on that and going from there. Now you see how this one has sharp edges and this one has round edges. Well, that's an easy fix. We're going to click on our white box that we have here in front, and we have a little curve over here. This is where you can control how deep of a curve that you're going to get, if we wanted a deep one or not, and then we can readjust how we want. So if this is the look that you want, we're going to left click, drag and drop this box so everything is highlighted. Hit that plus sign duplicate, and now we have two of them. And then I'm a stiffler for putting things in the center. I kind of drag and drop both of them and kind of center them. So now we have two notepads, and then from there, of course, I have lines, some I don't. So say we wanted to add lines to this. Now this one, you can do this in multiple ways. Sometimes I just look up lines, and sometimes we have lines that's already created for us. This one here does have the top and bottom things for us that we can adjust. So as you can see, these are a little they look like pencil lines. So depending on what you want and the look you're going for, you could go for that. Or there's another one there. This one has some fun lines here. Or you can go in and draw individually all of your lines if that is something that you wanted to do. That's just a you choice. Here's some more lines, or like I said, you can take it back even further and just go down to your tools, and you can click on the line, and then it will create your own lines for you, and then you can adjust them how needed, and then you can adjust the thickness as well. So if I wanted to bring this down to like a 1, and then the cool thing about this is you can just hit duplicate, and then you can manually adjust where you want your line spacing to be. And then we can just keep duplicating, and then it'll start just grabbing it for us. That's one way that I like to do it as well, especially when you're duplicating and it knows exactly where you're going. And I like that it tells you exactly the spacing that you're going to get in between your lines. So there's no confusion there if you accidentally give one line space too much line space. So of course you can always name your graphic here so you know which one it is, because I download these and I create a ton of them. Now, as you can see with this one doesn't have lines, and when you print this out, of course, I have everything that is going to be seeable, but we're going to write on these. So what is it that we do to get this more, it's not as thick as with the ink? So let's go ahead and create another one. Once I have this created, say I want to keep this look, what I do is I highlight all of that, and I actually duplicate this, and then I left click, scroll, and drag this down. That's how I know all of my notepads are the same size and they have the same qualities to it. So once I created my first one, I literally just copy them and pull everything down. Now this one, if I wanted to keep these lines, I could duplicate that as well. This one I could click one and hit shift, and then that way I would click all of them, the ones that I wanted, if I wanted to use these lines, and then I would just hit duplicate, and then I can move these down as well if I wanted to. But we're going to talk about how we got this picture and how we have it shaded lighter so you can have notepads with lines or without lines. So I'm going to actually make a new one. We're going to change this. I know I want to do one specifically for yoga. So we're going to type in our elements. We're going to find some yoga poses, something that's cute and fun. Ooh, what if we did this cute one here? We're going to make like a little picture and see how it turns out. Now, sometimes you can go in and change the color. So if I wanted to go in and change some aspects of my workings, if you have that pop up, always go in and check and see. If you have multiple lines here, then you may be able to change the color of what it is you're working with. And I do like that because sometimes we do want to make it a little bit more custom of what we're wanting. So depending on what you're grabbing over in your elements, always check and see if you can change the color of some of the graphics that you're using. So sometimes you'll come up with a little bit extra. Let's see, do we want to add anything else to this? What if we go ahead and make this really fun and cute and stackable? So this didn't come with the picture, but we're going to make this custom to us to give it a little bit more of our own creative design. We're going to put some stackable yoga bricks there. And let's do, are we doing too much? I don't think I want to add that. Let's do, I don't know if I want to put any more words on there. I was thinking maybe I could put, put this over on the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this as well. So then that's going a different direction. We're going to make this a little bit smaller, but I'm going to put this more so right there to give it a little bit of layering. All right, so we have this centered. I have it where I want it. Now I'm going to click shift all of the items that I want, and then we're going to go over this transparency box, and then we're going to bring it down. So then it's not going to be as dark when it's printed and bright. So then when we write on it, no matter what ink we're using, we can still see the picture, but it is going to be a little bit lighter, and we can still see our picture. Okay, I think I want to change the color of this background because I've used it before. It's okay if we use the same color background. Sometimes I like to, let's make it a little matchy. So we have that a little matching. I'm going to make this brick a little bit darker. Right now it's at 43 because I don't fully want the lines coming through. Not completely. We're going to make that a little bit darker. That is set to 63. Let's set this one to 63 as well. And actually, I'm going to make it the words about 51. Okay, so we have our base that we want. I'm going to curve this a little bit more. And so now we have our base notepad that we're going to use. And of course, I want to double this. I'm going to left highlight, click, and then I'm going to click the plus sign, duplicate, drag and drop this over, and then I'm going to readjust this just a little bit, and boom. Now we have our yoga notepad. And that's what we're going to name that. So now we have created our notepad. This is going to get ready to print. For me, I put 100 sheets in my notepads that you're going to get from me when I sell them. And so I print out 25 copies of these. So then we're going to manually cut them. I do all the labor myself, and I enjoy creating little things like this. So this is on an A4 document, horizontal, like I said, but depending on your your printer, you want to of course print the best quality that you have. So when I download these, I don't download these as a PDF. When I print out PDFs on my printer, they don't pick up all of the right qualities of what I need. So when I download this, I'm on the top right hand side, I'm going to click share and I'm going to click download. From there, I'm going to make sure it's either a JPEG or a PNG. PNG is best for complex images or illustrations. JPEG is also best for sharing. You could do a PDF print, but I've noticed that even when I did PDF print, it still gave me weird colors. The shading wasn't right in my printer. Like, I don't know, it just wasn't right. And like I said, it also may depend on the type of printer that you have. But I will usually stick with a PNG because I usually do have a range of pictures in my notepads that I'm creating. So we're going to make sure it's that. And then, of course, we don't need to print all of them right now. We're only going to do the current page that we're on. We're going to hit done, and then it's going to download to my computer. And then we're going to get these printed out. And then I'm going to show you how we hand make them right here in our home. So we have all 25 pages of our doubles, which will come out to 50 pages altogether in our notepad. Everything is printed out. We have them all here. We're going to go ahead and cut these down. I'm also going to go ahead and cut my chipboard. This is what goes on the back of the notepads. And since I'm just going to lay it on here, we're going to get two for when the two notepads that we're going to be making. My cutter is a Vever Tough Tools cutter, and this one is said to do 20 sheets, but since I'm doing a chipboard, I'm only gonna go ahead and put it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets in the chipboard, and then the rest I will cut all together, just because the chipboard is a little bit thicker, but it does and will cut it really well. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out with our, it's a little bit close to our 27. So now we're going to go ahead and cut. So we got our notepad cut out with our chipboard, and I'm still learning this cutter. I just got it, so I probably won't do as many sheets with the chipboard, but regardless, we did get our notepad cut out, and so now we're gonna go in and I'm gonna show you how we attach it all together and get a seamless notepad that you can use on your desk, in your office, and as a new stationery. All right, we have our notepad with our chipboard. All of our pages are here. We also have a book press. Now, I have the bigger book press because I do bigger items, but you can get one that is skinny to where it just focuses on the edges, whichever one you prefer. I may end up getting that one as well, but for now, we just have the big press. I have a couple of clips, my paintbrush, and you're gonna get some Mod Podge. So what I normally do is I get my notepad as flush as possible, and again, I am using a new cutter, so I'm learning with it, but this is a sample and also what I'm going to use to display. So if it's a little messed up, it's all about getting through what it is that you're creating. I use these clips just so I can hold them and really get them into my book press a little bit better. Like I said, when you have the bigger one, it might be a little bit trickier for you, but I usually make it manage and make it work to the best of my ability. But you can, like I said, get the smaller one, and I need to go through and tighten those up. But when you're in here, you want to try and get it as flush as possible. I try and keep my edges not completely touching the board, because with the Mod Podge, you will definitely get it stuck, and then you're gonna have a bigger problem with your pages. So I go ahead and start getting the front of it tight, and then I go through and finish it. But like I said, if you get the skinnier one, then you're gonna have more access to really just focus on getting the front tight. I have to get all of mine, but it does help flatten it out in case whatever happened while you were creating. Something could have happened where there may be a crease somewhere. So at the end of the day, I feel like it does just help flatten out the entirety of this. So I have this pretty good for what I need. Just gonna go through and tighten some of these up just a little bit more. Now this step doesn't take a lot. So now that we're in here, we are flush. We have that on there, and now we can start putting our Mod Podge. And there are times that if I'm doing multiples, I can stack them. It is a little bit trickier because you have to keep them all flush and all lined up. But I don't mind doing one at a time, especially if I have one printing. I kind of like to go in and just do what I can when I can. So now I'm going to take my Mod Podge and I'm going to paint it right across the edge here. And this one, I usually do 3 to 4 coats in between it drying. And that usually does the trick for me. There are some people that like to use different forms of glue. And I've just noticed that one Mod Podge goes a long way. When I buy one Mod Podge, I usually have it for a long time. And I can use it with a range of things. Even coat by coat, it does not take a lot. But I like to get it on there. And then as I go through and kind of paint it through, sometimes I come back and tap, and sometimes this is just OCD as well. If anything gets on top, I usually just paint that down like that. Always have a napkin as well. And then in between this, I will go ahead and set this down for that to dry, and then I'll come back through with another coat. And like I said, I usually put about 3 to 4 coats, and they get done really quickly. Okay, so we have our notepads, and I did end up doing 2. So when you put them 2 together, as you can see, they do become attached. Some people use a envelope opener. I have my easy peasy blade here. If you lightly just separate the 2, you can go from any direction, and then you just lightly take it. It's hard to do this with the camera in front of me. You lightly take it, and then you can just slice right through. Sometimes I get lucky and I can easily pull it apart, which actually it is kind of pulling on its own. If we can get it started. Sorry, my camera fell. Once I got it started with the box cutter, it did openly just kind of flop out apart from each other. So now we do have 2 of our notepads, as you can see here, finished. These were the new ones that we just did. This is the one that we did together on the video, and they are completely sealed and done. Like I said, this one was with a new cutter I just got. The second time I ran through with my cutter, got it a lot better. But this is how easy it is to create with Canva, also making your own. And again, you're welcome to come shop over on my Etsy or my Shopify for different ranges of stationaries.